And welcome back here to Hurst Field at Dixie State University here in beautiful St. George. It's about 78 degrees last I checked, Nate. For those of the viewers up in Spanish Fork, it's beautiful down here. For those of you down in Las Vegas and anywhere else you're watching this game, I hope the weather's great for you too, because it certainly is down here. And we go into the top half of the sixth inning with our leadoff hitter, Nick Roberts, who just made a phenomenal play out in center field to track down a well-hit ball to deep center field. And we're sitting 6-6, top of six. Nick Roberts leads things off, takes a high fastball for ball one. I'm joined here in the studio with former player back from 1999, Nate Dart, center fielder here at Spanish Fork, all-state player. Went on to have a successful career at UVU. And is now just a casual fan of the Dons, a lover of baseball.
Absolutely. I think about it often, how lucky and thankful I am that I grew up in Spanish Fork. Playing Spanish Fork baseball, the friendships and everything else. I'm always proud to tell people that I'm from Spanish Fork.
Yeah, being a part of that tradition has always meant a lot. It certainly has to me. And it's funny how many people going around the state know, if they're baseball people, seem to give you a little bit more credibility when they know that you played for Spanish Fork. It's always a nice conversation starter. Especially for those of us in sales, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nick Roberts is facing a 1-2 count. Takes a ball high, evens it up, 2-2. Looks like we got a full count. Scores booth's been off a little bit up there today. Ooh. Roberts draws the leadoff walk. You know what everybody always says, a leadoff walk is the worst thing you can do in baseball, right? If you're a pitcher.
If you're on the pitching end of it, it's as good as a base hit. I like seeing guys work the count, seeing some pitches in that when they're the leadoff batter any inning.
Well, it brings to the plate a hot hitting shortstop, number 15, Devin Argyle. Nick Roberts can run well, getting a good healthy lead over there at first base. Pitcher throws over, but he makes it back safely. In a situation like this, you got likely two opportunities to come to the plate. I could see Gubb going real small right now, and that's exactly what he's doing, a fake bunt steal. And Nick Roberts slides in safely. Second base, putting a runner in scoring position. And I wouldn't be surprised if Gubb tries to stay short here, Nate.
Oh, yeah, this is where, all that practice and effort they put into, the fundamentals of baseball. This is where it comes into play late in the game when they fought back and tied the ball game up. It'll be interesting to see what Gubb puts on.
When we talked a little bit earlier, one of the things that Gubb's really looking forward throughout this entire weekend is, can we execute? Can we advance and pick up runs? And that's probably a spot right there, ball down in the dirt, that Nick could have been hippity-hopping and maybe getting over to third base.
Yeah, the catcher had a hard time locating the ball afterwards. And
kind of a tweener, though, right?
Yeah, tough play.
Tough play for Nick Roberts.
Yeah, early in the inning was no outs. It's probably safer to stay, see what happens.
Especially with a hot hit and Argyle at the plate right now.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like we're going to bunt. Oh, he pops it up. Hopefully they drop. Oh, he gets his glove underneath it and catches it. And that will be the first out with a runner on second base.
Looks like
Gubb's going to go out and contest it, huh?
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's contesting, but
I know from our angle, and Gubb may have not had the same angle we did, but from our angle, I think the glove got underneath it before it hit the ground.
Yeah.
Looks like Gubb agrees and trots back over to the coaching box. In to hit for the Dons, number 27, Zach Harrison. Zach Harrison looks like he is hitting for Benson Reese into designated hit for Benson Reese. Zach Harrison, a senior, also plays out in the outfield, a good player, multi-sport athlete, great kid.
Any relation to Taylor?
No, they're probably related. I think all the Harrisons in Spanish Fork are. His dad, Todd Harrison.
Okay.
Banker down at Bank of American Fork. Big supporters of Spanish Fork athletics. Spanish Fork and Maple Mountain Athletics, actually, down there at Bank of American Fork. Todd's been there for a lot of years. Former player here as well. It's kind of a common theme around here, and that's one of the things I love about Spanish Fork is seems like you can always run into somebody that you know.
Oh, absolutely. It doesn't matter where you go. Oh, yes.
Harrison comes in and lines one to the left field. He gets it over his head, and he's going to get a double out of this, maybe even more. Nick Roberts is going to score to put the Dons in the lead 7-6. So Taylor Harrison comes to the plate and ropes the first pitch he sees over the left fielder's head for the double. And the Dons have the lead for the first time in the game, 7-6. What a change of circumstances from that first bottom half of the game.
And he hit that ball pretty hard, too.
Yeah, he did.
He got a little carry on it. And, you know, the left fielder's defense, that is a tough play, you know, looking right up at the sun. But, you know, you got to get your glove up there and try and make a play on him, but we're sure glad he didn't.
Well, it happened in the JV game a couple of days ago. A ball was hit sharply to the center fielder and couldn't make the play. You know, it's a tough play to make when you got a ball hit right at you on a line because you can't really judge if it's dipping or going to get up over your head. And in this case, for Zach Harrison, it got up over the left fielder's head, and the Dons out in front. Looks like they're going to have a pitching carousel right here. We've got guys up in the bullpen for Arborview, nobody for Spanish Fork. Of course, we just got a new pitcher in McKinnon Jarvis. But Golish and Harrison, Coach Lucas, Coach Gubb, they're conversing over on the third base line.
Yep, and Arborview and those that are conversing on the mound, and this is where the real game of chess comes in.
Yeah, head coach Thomas Guest is out there talking to his pitcher, probably trying to buy a little bit of time for a relief guy.
Yep.
This kid hasn't had as much success as the first kid. Seems like we've been able to square up a few balls more. And the Dons are in a good situation right here. Taylor Harrison standing on second base. 1 out. Ryan Golish, a hard-hitting third baseman, comes to the plate. Golish was looking for it all right there. Took a big, long, hard swing at a pitch right in the dirt. Got fooled a little bit on an off-speed pitch. 1 strike on Ryan Golish. Golish has the ability, along with a couple other guys on this team, of hitting it out of the yard here at Hurstfield. Catcher blocks that one, makes a nice play, and holds Harrison at second base. Tell you right now, I know Coach Gubb is trying to do everything he can to get Harrison over to third base, because puts you into another situation where you can hit a long fly ball and get a tag and a score out of it, giving you a little bit of an insurance run going into the bottom half of the 6th.
Oh, absolutely. Well, hopefully, you know, what he wants to do is exactly what you said, Sam.
Golish swings on hard. It's a high chopper. This is going to be a tough play and a good runner out of Golish, but that shortstop, Quintana, what a player. Comes across the field, throws across his body, and makes the out look very easy on what is really a tough play on those high choppers, especially with a good runner in Ryan Golish. But it advances the runner, Zach Harrison, over to third base and brings to the plate McKinnon Jarvis, who is now pitching for the Dons. McKinnon ropes one into the hole. Quintana comes up, makes the play, but the first baseman can't handle the throw. It's as low. Zach Harrison scores, pushing the Dons' lead out in front. With here in the top half of the 6th inning, 2 outs. The Dons now lead 8-6. And it looks like we're going to get a pitching change here. Nick Harrison going to speed up run for the pitcher, McKinnon Jarvis. Nick Harrison, a junior middle infielder, and so far has been the Dons' speed up runner. Paying his dues as a junior. Sometimes that's just part of the deal. Nate, you remember ever having to do some speed up work?
I sure do. In fact, that was my first varsity experience down here. The speed up running. I nearly got picked off by Trent Pratt
Yeah.
2 times in about 2 minutes.
Well, to your credit, Trent Pratt had a long professional career, and probably, arguably, I still think Casey Cloward is, but arguably Trent Pratt may have been one of the best defensive catchers the state's ever produced.
Oh, absolutely. He went on to have a very successful career, and now he's actually coaching over at BYU.
Yeah.
He's one of the coaches over there with Mike Littlewood.
Yeah,
doing
they're
a
doing
good
some
job.
good things. 5 former Dons, speaking of BYU and Trent Pratt, Coach Littlewood, 5 former Dons suited up last night for BYU and was able to pull the victory out. Hayden Nelson leading the team with a .379 batting average. And I was noticing in 68 attempts, he only has 1 error on the year, which leads the nation for all Division I middle infielder. That's an impressive stat right there. What a player he was here at Spanish Fork and is over at BYU.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, being a shortstop, getting as many chances as they get and only having 1 error. And, you know, Hayden is such a good guy. I love watching him play the game because he plays it right. And the great thing about Hayden is he's a great ball player, but he's an even better kid.
You know, it's something that Coach Shue always talked about with Hayden Nelson. He kind of had that X factor. You know, it's tough to, you know, he's a, you know, look, speaking of which, is number 5, this new pitcher for Arborview, kind of a little guy. Hayden Nelson wasn't a big guy by any stretch of the imagination, but he was a starting pitcher, starting shortstop for the baseball team here, and was a stud for 3 years. He also started at quarterback for 3 years for the Dons and started for 3 years as a point guard. And he's just one of those guys that, you know, no matter what his size was, no matter what his physicalities were, he went out there and got it done. And Coach Shue always talked about it being the X factor, just something more he had inside of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I can only think of one other guy. I mean, there may have been others previous to this, but short of your brother Joel, I don't know of anybody that started in 3 sports for 3 years like that
and had the success.
And had the success. Yeah, absolutely. Your brother Joel had a great career here at Spanish Fork.
Yeah, now he's over there in Salem Hills, the head football coach over there. It's kind of tough for me to swallow sometimes, but
he's doing a great job over there.
All right, well, with the Dons up 8-6 and Nick Harrison on to speed up run for Jarvis, it brings to the plate the first baseman, number 21, Matt Creer, who's had a great tournament down here. Pitched extremely well against Faith Lutheran yesterday and has hit the ball very well. Also played very tough defensively for the Dons at first base. And he's in a situation here with 2 outs to do something great.
Throw over.
And one of the things I have to admit now that we're here in the 6th inning is that I originally told Nate he'd come on for a couple of innings and he could go over and spend some time with his new baby Finn and his lovely wife. But I've kept him here for an extra 2 innings and sure have enjoyed having you.
Oh, it's been a lot of fun, Sam.
Tell you one thing about it is we've probably watched the game more intently today than we ever have, huh?
Absolutely, and the Dons have given us a reason to watch it. They've been battling back, and it's been actually really fun. This game's been fun to watch.
Well, you know, when you and the Dons have a balk here. Nick Harrison will advance to second base on the balk. And Creer up to the plate has a 3-0 count. This is a great count to be in. Probably looking to take a pitch here, especially with 2 outs. But as I said earlier, you never know. New coach.
Yeah, maybe
have a new philosophy. Some people believe in getting that one pitch that you can hit long and far. You know, sometimes you're going to get it when you got a 3-0 count. Pitcher definitely has to find a way to throw a strike here.
Ooh,
and he did. He gave him the green light on a 3-0 count. A little up in the zone. Creer probably should have laid off that pitch, but you know what? I love the aggression. I love the desire to get out there and get it done. That's awesome to see. Creer rips one up the middle, and Nick Harrison's being waved around home to score. And he will score. He'll walk across the plate and give the Dons a 3-run lead after starting this game out down 6-0. The Dons are now up 9-6, out hitting Arborview with 11 hits to Arborview's 4. And Matt Creer continues to impress at the plate.
You know, I really like that call to give him the green light, Sam. I think a lot of times when the count's 3-0 and you're taking, you know, I think the mentality as a hitter is just to kind of sit back and let your at-bat then happen. And And I think that, it translated into a base hit up the middle because he stayed in that mode of staying in there to hit, having the green light. And not only that, but instilling some confidence in him up at the plate that Gubb wanted to give him the green light to hit.
Jason Money now at the plate. Money, a great hitter, strong hitter, and an aggressive tactic there from Spanish Fork. Matt Career, still second, gets thrown out to end the top half of the 5th inning. That's a gutsy move right there. I mean, that's showing some aggressive behavior right there from Coach Gubb, and I like it.
Yep.
Good.
I think it translates to confidence for his players.
And I think that's exactly what they're trying to instill into this team right now. A win today puts them at 3-2, and puts them in a pretty good situation for tonight. Puts them in not the bottom round, but puts them into a situation where they're going to be playing another team that's also won in this tournament. And this, as I said earlier, this tournament, you've got 2 powerhouse teams out of Las Vegas in Faith Lutheran and Arborview. You've also got, teams like Bingham, American Fork, Pleasant Grove, who are all 3 ranked 1, 2, and 3 in 5A. You've got Spanish Fork and Pineview. Pineview, has played really tough, and it looks like we'll probably get them later tonight. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you come down here and win, you split down here, you've had a successful trip down. Yep. With the caliber of competition and some of these teams, absolutely. But I do think it's good for the Dons to come down here and play some teams that are going to challenge them and are going to show up to the park and play. And you've got to play good baseball to win the game, because I think it gets them going for the season.
And one of the things, too, Nate, that it does is that, it allows your team to come and really find out who you are as a team, what your abilities are, who your pitching staff's going to be. And sometimes coming down here and being in a situation like Spanish is with, 1 and 3, kind of lulls your opponents in region to sleep. And really, the only thing that Gubb and this coaching staff care about is producing in-region play and getting themselves a good seed for the state tournament, because at that point, anything can happen.
Absolutely.
Jarvis still doing the pitching duties. First batter up, don't have his name, but drives a high fly ball to Nick Roberts, who camps underneath it and gets it makes the catch for the first out. And it'll bring to the plate number 6, the catcher Velasco. He's had a pretty good day at the plate today. But 1 out here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. The Dons still have a lot of baseball to play to close this victory out. A lot of things can happen. This is a good baseball team over there from Las Vegas.
Yeah, I can promise you they're going to want to stay in this game just like the Dons did. They're going to play to the very last out.
Nice strike. I didn't get a strike called out of it, though. Threw a hard fastball right down the middle, but didn't get the called strike. So the count is 1-1 to Velasco. Jarvis throws a high off-speed pitch. Brings the count to 2-1. Velasco swings on. Foul tips it off into the dugout. Evens the count at 2-2. And Jarvis has an opportunity for the closeout pitch right here. Ooh, that was a hard fastball just down and away for ball 3.
Ooh, good pitch.
And a full count situation with 1 out here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Beautiful Hearst Park. What a great park to play, Nate. If you're a high school athlete, you got to love playing down here, right?
Well, yeah, and the cool thing about it is when the guys get to come down here and play on a field like this, they get to see, what type of field they could potentially be playing on if they're going to play at the next level. And this it's a lot different than any high school field I played on.
Jarvis just misses on the fastball right there. Umpire giving the indication that it was a little up.
And we were lucky to be able to play on Don Field. I mean, there's no question about it. That was such a nice park. I mean, of all the parks that we played at least in our region for sure, they do such a great job with that field. And we were lucky to have such a fun park to play on.
Well, going all the way back to the days of Randy Romero and now with Tad Thorpe, the amount of time that they put into that field at Spanish Fork it's really amazing. And it's been fun to listen to what our opponents have to say as we've gotten older, and how big of a deal it was for them to go and play at Spanish Fork. Just a great field, great fence. You know, the stands a little bit old, but kind of nostalgic.
Oh,
Hopefully
absolutely.
we can put something together and get some new stands at that field someday soon. But
oh, absolutely. And then, you know, it was just a fun park to play at. I remember, you know, everybody down the right field line, you know, and you had to kind of watch what you said if you got thrown out at first base coming out there.
yeah, you did. All the old school guys that still sit out there down the third base line.
Yeah.
Now I want to make mention, the Spanish Fork girls softball team is 3-1 down here, have another game tonight. Another powerhouse team that Coach Don Andrews is putting together. And it was fun last night during the Pleasant Grove game. Things had kind of got out of hand, and a lot of fans went over and watched the girls play softball, and they were struggling a little bit, down 5 or 6 runs, and Coach Andrews pulled all of his starters and put in a bunch of freshmen. And boy, did they perform and pulled them right back into it and end up winning the game. Long fly ball hit deep into left field. Money's going back and at the wall, just can't come up with it. Runners advance to second and first base. What's that? Are you in the game by yourself? Okay.
That was a tough play down the left field wall. I mean, he hit the ball really well, and it got out there quick.
Yeah, it did. And, you know, I think that, you know, Jason just, you know, he made a great effort. He did what he thought he needed to do. And just couldn't quite get it there.
Oh, darn.
A sharp hit, ground ball out into left field, advances one runner to home. It'll plate one runner and another runner. The guy up to the plate, number 8, Pastron, who has been just a tough out for the Dons all day, gets a nice base hit into left field, advances to second on the throw and scores one run. The Dons lead is now a 2-run lead, 9-7. It'll bring to the plate the center fielder, number 3, Rivera.
You know, for the viewers, that's why it's so important to hit the cutoff guy right there. Keep that guy on first base. We're still in double play contention.
Yep.
It's a big play for you young guys watching the game. You know, if you're coming up throwing in the outfield, it's so important to hit the cutoff guy.
Yeah, and that is so true because, you know, with one out, you're in a double play situation. You get that, you know, 6-4-3 or 4-6-3 double play ball. It sure does make things a little nicer on your pitchers.
Absolutely.
Now you got 2 runners in scoring position. You got a 2-1 count with 1 out. Guys at second and third for Arborview. One swing of the bat ties this baby up right here. One really good swing of the bat puts Arborview in the lead. He pops it straight back. It might be in play. Anderson makes it a strong effort towards it. He's going to get up into the stands and out of play.
These are the kind of ball games that are fun to play in, aren't they, Sam?
They are. This is really one swing of the bat. We just talked about it. And they're going to score 2 runners. Well, they're going to hold the runner up at third base. And smartly, Roberts does exactly what Nate just talked about, keeps that runner at first base. And now we've got a double play ball in contention. Coach Gubb is going to make a visit to the mound. Doesn't look like we have any action in the bullpen, although I may have missed some earlier. But they are going to switch pitchers right here. Nick Roberts coming into pitch. We'd like to thank our sponsors today, MVP Sports, located right down there on 72 North Main Street. They do customized uniforms, equipment, shoes, sporting goods. Guys down at MVP have kept Spanish Fork baseball players in baseball uniforms, football uniforms, basketball uniforms, running gear, all kinds of stuff for years and years. When I was a kid, I used to love going down and picking up the new set of baseball cards and going in there. Back in the day, Bruce
absolutely.
Hall traded cards with us in there. He had a little display case with some of the best cards of the day, and we'd get in there and do some trading. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, some of my fondest memories going down there picking out all of your gear and hats and everything else. They have been at it for a long time.
And another sponsor that has been great to Spanish Fork 17 is the Car Guys. Do such a great job of serving Spanish Fork athletics and this community network. They're located right down there on Main Street as well, just 850 North Main, somewhere in that neighborhood. I don't have the exact address, but I know that it's 872 North Main. It's right in front of me, 872 North Main. The Car Guys, get down to see Calvin Yount, a former Don baseball coach, retired last season with Coach Shue and Coach Whites. Decided that his 25 plus years was enough. A lot of fun goal that old Coach Smokey hit us, and he's down there selling cars now.
I was going to say, he's not an easy guy to replace. He was the fungo master. That will be another thing, too, that will be kind of interesting to get used to see somebody else out there hitting infield for the Dons. Coach Smokey did it for such a long time. I remember one season, I think I was a sophomore, and Coach Smokey was hitting infield before one of the games over on Elks Field, and he was hitting to the outfield, and Mike Esplin actually caught a relay to home and turned around and fired it, and it hits Colt Smokey right in the head.
I can still hear that
Knocked
sound.
him right out.
That's one Sunshine tournament that he will never remember. He was knocked out pretty cold at that game.
They had to take. I remember they had to take him out, and I felt so bad for him because it wasn't the same not having him there. He'll definitely be missed in that regard.
Well, Nate, I think that was my brother Joel's senior year. You would have been a sophomore or junior on that team.
I was a sophomore, yep.
Looks like the Dons are making the switch. What do you think of the switch here, Nate? They're bringing in Nick Roberts, the center fielder, and moved Zach Harrison into left, moved Jason Money over to center, it looks like.
I like the move. I think it looks like he's a little bit different than Jarvis. It looks like he throws maybe a little harder.
Yeah, he definitely throws harder. Doesn't have a whole lot of off speed, but he does throw a kind of a sneaky knuckleball every now and again that keeps hitters off balance. And the Dons with a 9-8 lead, we just talked about it. A lot of baseball left, and you and I may have nixed it a little bit by talking about maybe who they'd play tonight if they got to win. So our bad on that part, but
well, that's the beauty of baseball is it's never over.
No, looks like there's quite a few different changes going on right now, and Coach Gubb is talking to the umpires about them. It looks like what they've done is kept Money in left, moved Taylor Harrison into right. Their designated hitter Zach Harrison has moved into right field. Taylor's moved from right to center, and looks like we've got everything squared away, except for we have one minor issue with Anderson. Looks like he needs to, oh no, and now we're gonna move Jarvis back behind the dish. Anderson,
so he went back from catching to pitching, back to catching.
Well, Coach Gubb's doing what he has to do to get victories today, and that's what he feels is gonna suit his team best right now. Sometimes catchers, have a tough time catching a particular pitcher. I remember back in the Greg Maddox days, couldn't go without his catcher.
Oh yeah, who was it? Eddie Perez?
Eddie Perez. Eddie Perez caught one game out of every series, or caught one game every 5 games, and
it was always Maddox.
Always Greg Maddox. How many times did he win the Cy Young? 2 or 3?
Yeah, maybe even more.
Yeah.
That was kind of fun to watch. A lot of those Braves guys get inducted to the Baseball Hall of Fame the same time last year.
Yeah, you and your brothers had an opportunity to go down and watch that.
We did. It was a really neat opportunity to see it.
Well, Nick Roberts is out to pitch for the Dons. Guys on first and third, 1 out. Double play ball still in play. Don's hoping to get a ground ball up the middle, but Quintana, one of the top players in the West, up to the plate right now. Reported earlier that he had committed to play for the Trojans down at USC.
He wasn't wearing batting gloves his first couple at bats. He is wearing batting gloves now. Maybe he's a little more serious about this bat.
Yeah, looks like he's got quite a bit of pine tar on that bat. I wonder if that's above the line that's legal.
He looks like he's got quite a bit. That is true.
It's either a really old bat or full of pine tar. Jarvis having a tough time finding the strike zone. Throws the first 2 balls in the dirt. Don's got to be careful here. 1-run lead, bottom of the 6th inning.
Yeah, they don't want to put too many
guys on the corners.
What do you do right here, Sam? You taking?
Well, with this kid, I think with 1 out, you get runners on first and third. I'd probably take. Roberts is having a tough time finding the zone right now. I'd make him throw me a fastball down the middle for a strike. Otherwise, I get a free pass to first, and it's exactly what he's going to get. Roberts having a tough time finding the strike zone. Walks the first batter and brings a very interesting situation to the plate in McKell, the first baseman, number 21 for Arborview. He's already hit 1 grand salami here in the game. In the first inning, cleared 4 bags for the the Aggies. The Dons are hoping they can avoid that right here.
Yep.
One way to avoid it is not being able to find the strike zone, though, right, Nate?
Yeah.
Roberts has got to dig down deep right here, and
he's going to have to give him something to hit.
Throws him an off-speed pitch for a strike. I like it.
It was a
Changed
great
it
pitch.
Up a little
Yep.
bit.
Good to start him off on something different than what he thought he was going to get.
Probably hung it a little bit too much, more than he wanted to, but maybe he'll work him down and away right here. Throws him a fastball, or another off-speed pitch. We struggle with the turn over at shortstop and can't quite make the throw over to first base. So they score 1 and tie it up 9-9. Bases continue to stay loaded. 1 out here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Arborview has picked up 3 runs.
Yep.
The Dons, as we talked about that chess match.
Yep.
The Dons are finding themselves having to change things up.
Here
get
we
things
are.
Going right here. Ball gets down in the dirt, but Roberts does a great job of getting up there and covering home plate, keeping the runner at bay at third base. But for the Aggies, they've got the winning runner 90 feet away.
They do, yep. They're still at home. Suicide squeeze.
Suicide squeeze. He pops it up, and nope, safe at first base. Pops it up. Nick Roberts charged. Ball got up over him. Arborview suicide squeezes what could potentially be the game-winning run. The Dons certainly hope not. But Arborview takes the lead 10-9 here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Only 1 out. Bases still remain loaded. Don't be shocked to see him do it again.
Yeah, and you know that bunt, it was a risky play to run. He's lucky that Roberts broke so hard to go in because he thought he was going to put it down, because he actually just put that bunt right over the pitcher's mound.
Yeah, and if he catches it, he probably doubles off the guy. Well, he does double off the guy.
Oh yeah, and they're out of the inning.
Well, the Dons find themselves in a difficult spot again. They're going to have to dig down deep. Only have 1 more opportunity to get up to the plate unless they can tie it up. Going to have to really get after it. And Fitzhugh, the right fielder, with a 1-1 count. Bases loaded, 1 out. Called strike, counts 1 and 2 to Fitzhugh. Fouled off down the left field line.
You know, I wanted to make mention, I had a chance to talk to some of the SFCN guys before the game, and what a first-class operation they've got going here. With, you know, to have a local cable network, you know, ooh.
That ball is pounded, and we double him
Yes.
off second base. What a huge turn of events. Guy pounds the ball, but Walker Jones is standing right there, catches it, steps on second base for the third and final out of the 6th inning. But the Dons, going into the top half of the 7th inning, find themselves down a run, and we'll be right back. What an opportunity for these kids to have a chance to be playing live on television so that their parents, grandparents, cousins, relatives, friends, and other members of the community can watch them play their games. What a great, great thing that is for these boys to have. Jason Money starts things off in the top half of the 7th inning. Swings on, low strike. Strike one. Gets a pitch a little bit outside. Evens the count at 1-1. A little submariner action right there. Throws a ball inside. I think if you're the Dons here, you're looking, Nate, to take a few pitches and see if you can't get some base runners. You got to be aggressive.
Yep.
You want to play aggressive, but you also got to be really smart right here because it's do or die at this point.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, getting on base is by far the most important thing for these guys, and working the count to 3-1. He's in a good spot right now.
Yeah, Jason Money is probably definitely looking to get a very, very specific fastball down the middle for him. Otherwise, he's going to take a free pass. And he must have got that pitch and drove it into left field for his second hit of the game. Jason Money with a leadoff single. And so far today in today's game, leadoff walks and singles have turned into runs. We'll find out if they can put it together right here. And coming to the plate now is the center fielder, number 6, Taylor Harrison, who's just been hotter than a firecracker today. Got 2 hits. One of them he laced into center field, and the guy made a heck of a play to steal a hit from him.
Yeah,
the Dons need a big hit from him right here. And the speedster was going to lay a bunt down. Jason Money faked to go to second, came back safely to first base. Catcher threw down, but not in time.
I think this pitcher has sunglasses on. I don't know that I've ever seen that, Sam.
No, I haven't seen pitchers with sunglasses on before, but to each their own, Nate.
Yep.
And Taylor just misses the bunt. This is a situation right here where Gubb is really looking for somebody to step up and execute to advance a runner into scoring position.
Yep, getting those guys over is the most important thing to do right now.
Gubb looks like he's changing up the call right here. Wonder what they're going to end up doing here. Counts 0-2. 2 strikes. We'll see if he's going to lay it down or if he's going to. It wouldn't surprise me. It's not the riskiest thing you could do, but some might argue with the call.
Yeah. With 2 strikes, we'll see.
Looks like he's going to swing. Oh, and he got called strike 3.
I mean, I can't see. We're not right behind the plate, but I'm wondering about the consistency of this ump today.
That ball looked like it was quite a bit outside. The catcher had to lean over to catch it. Got quite a response from the crowd here.
Yep.
Walker Jones, guy that's got a couple of hits today, comes to the plate. Pitcher throws over to first base, trying to keep Money honest over there.
He slides back in safely.
Walker looking to stay hot. The Dons have 12 hits to Arborview's 8s. Only the difference is we have 5 errors up there. That's tough to win a baseball game.
Yep, it sure is.
But Dons are in a pretty good spot right now. They got their 9-hitter up to the plate with 1 out, 1 on. He's been hot all day. All you're looking for from Walker right here is to advance the runner and give Nick Roberts an opportunity to bring him home. And that top half of the lineup's coming up for the Dons, so pretty good spot to be in. Let's see what the Dons can do right here. Walker Jones lifts up on the pitch and chops one down the left field line for a foul. Walker Jones, as you'll notice, also like Devin Argyle, our two guys playing up the middle right now are both slowed down a little bit by big knee braces. Don Joy has done a good job here at Spanish Fork High School.
Keeping those knees intact.
Yeah. That's something you don't see every day, huh, Nate?
Yep. And there's some more of the inconsistency of this. That ball was not a strike, and he called it a strike to even the count at 2-2, and it did not look like a strike, and he is hearing it from the crowd.
Yes, he is. Ball was inside, and that looked a little bit better pitch than the last one. And so
that was a makeup call.
Walker Jones sitting at 3-2 right now, looking for a pitch he can drive. Jason Money on first base. Pitcher throws over. Money slides in safely at first base. Money doing a good job of trying to keep the pitcher's attention focused on him and not the batter right here.
Yep.
Ball low. Walker draws the big walk right there.
That's big.
That's a huge walk. Brings to the plate the cool, calm, and collected pitcher now, Nick Roberts, who easily strolls into the batter's box, takes his time. And he's got a runner in scoring position, has an opportunity with the swing of a bat to tie this puppy up right here.
Let's see if he can do it.
So here we are, Red Rock Classic. Don's down by a score of 9 runs to 10 to Arborview's 10 runs. Guys on first and second. Roberts rips one up the middle, and he's going to tie this game up. Walker Jones is going to advance to third base. Nick Roberts gets back to first safely. The Dons are tied the game up at 10 with runners at the corners and 1 out.
What a big at bat by Roberts. Step up there, hit the first pitch right back up the middle.
Roberts, who recently signed with Salt Lake Community College, you're starting to see bits and pieces of why he's playing at the next level. Steps up when it counts and gets the job done. Ties it up, 10-10. Heck of a game of offense today, huh?
Oh, yeah. Both teams have put the ball in play. We've seen a lot of offense. Scored a lot of runs.
And it brings to the plate the hot-hitting shortstop, Devin Argyle, for the Dons. Got a couple of hits on the day and has a chance to, with 1 out, execute a long fly ball, tag the runner up, and potentially get a game-winning run if the Dons can hold them in the bottom half of the 7th. For those of you that are watching the game live, if you can see the scoreboard, they're wrong. The score is 10-10. They've been a little slow all day. But right here on SF17, we got you up to speed, we hope.
Good spot to be in for the Dons with the guys on the corners.
And that ball's going to fall in for a hit, I think. Nope, he's better get back. Just what we thought was going to be a Texas leaguer, just barely made the catch at the second baseman for Arborview. Barely got back there in the outfield territory, made the play. 2 outs, runners at the corners. Brings to the plate Zach Harrison, number 27, who's now playing left field. Excuse me, playing right field. He was the designated hitter, but he's playing right field now and doing some big things.
Yeah, his last at bat, he got up there and got a nice base hit.
Let's see if he hits the first pitch this time. He was aggressive last time and made the first pitch. And he does. He just attacks that first pitch, gets the ball to slide up the arm of the third baseman. And the Dons take the lead 11-10 here in the top half of the 7th inning. Zach Harrison's got to be feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, hit that ball hard. And that's the thing, Sam, is when you put the ball in play, you know, give yourself an opportunity and, you know, a chance to compete and be there. And that's exactly what he's done. And, you know, they've proven they've got, you know, they've made a few errors and we've been able to capitalize on them. those errors that they've made as well.
Now coming to the plate, your cleanup hitter and third baseman Ryan Golish, who's had a big game today and drives one into the gap. The left fielder's playing him right there and gets just over into the gap and catches it, but a hard hit ball by Ryan Golish. And that'll end the top half of the 7th inning. The Dons 3 outs away from advancing with the victory. Once again, we want to thank MVP Sports and the Car Guys for being gracious sponsors of SFCN Channel 17. They do a lot of great things for us and allow us to cover all of the local sports from Maple Mountain and Spanish Fork High Schools all the way down to some of the recreation leagues, and we appreciate their sponsorships. Well, Nate.
Yeah.
How have you enjoyed your first experience of being a color commentator?
Well, you know, when you asked me to do it, I knew you were, digging in the bottom of the barrel, but it's actually been a really fun experience. It's been fun to watch the kids come back, battle in this game. And, I was just thinking about it. A lot of times when people are watching baseball on TV or baseball in general, a lot of people think that the game's boring. And, I always tell people that you just don't know what's going on. There's so much going on in a baseball game with the signals and the communication between the players and even the dugout and the coaches. And there's signals on every single play. And the game just isn't boring. If you pay attention to it, there's a lot more going on than a lot of people would think.
Yeah. Well, I think you're absolutely right. One of the things that's been nice about today's opportunity for us to call this game is that we've really stayed focused on the game. We've had an opportunity to watch very closely what's going on in the Dons here in a situation up 11-10. They're 3-1 on the year. They have a lot at stake here, trying to prove themselves as a worthy opponent. Trying to learn a lot about themselves. The coaches are trying to learn a lot about themselves and the guys that they have coming to the plate and playing defense and doing the duties on the mound. Right now we got Nick Roberts on the mound for the Dons. Face off with the first batter of the bottom half of the 7th inning. Nick's taking a little bit too much time and the batter steps out, calls time. One of the things I've noticed, Nate, is that you don't see a whole lot of, at least from my viewpoint, there doesn't seem to be too many tense people. Coaches are cool, calm, and collected. Coach Lucas, Coach Gubb, Coach Chambers, I can see down there. Looked like a pretty good pitch, but Nick's having a tough time pitching to these lefties and starts him off with 2 balls. There's a strike right there, and that's a hard thrown fastball. If you're Jason Money and Ryan Golich, you might be looking for some action right here with a pitch that hard.
Oh, yeah.
Got a lefty slice one right at you.
He could get on one right there.
That's another really good pitch right there.
Oh, I like seeing him come back in the count now right there to even it too, to battle back. Especially after those first 2 pitches were pretty darn close.
Roberts is up there waiting for Jarvis to give him a call, and he's working fast. He's ready to go. He knows exactly what pitch he wants to throw. And he's coming right after him with fastballs, Nate.
Yeah, I think he's thrown 5 fastballs to him.
Yeah,
Let's see if he changes it up right here on a 2-2 count.
Be a good opportunity to try something, especially when the kid's looking fast.
And he does that. Just didn't get it to break much.
No, couldn't get it to come down into the zone. So full count to the Aggie at the plate. Nick Roberts gets ready to deliver the pitch. Throws a hard fastball, but it's low and inside, and the Arborview batter will draw the walk. Leadoff walks. Talked a lot about him today. Let's see if we can't roll a pair right here and get ourselves out of that tough situation.
Yep. See if we can throw a ground ball. And both teams have battled back. They've, when they've really responded well when the other team's gotten up and they played some small ball. It looks like they're looking to bunt right here.
Yeah, they're doing everything they can to advance that runner over. Well, Nate, as my special guest today, I'm going to ask you to help me come up with the MVP of today's baseball game. We still got a lot of baseball to play, but be thinking about it. I know there's been a lot of good players today, and unsuccessfully lays the bunt down.
Yeah, it'll be tough. A lot of guys have stepped up, and
Yeah.
when you score 11 runs, there's a lot of guys that.
A couple of guys that come to mind, Zach Harrison, who came in
Yep.
off the bench and gets 2 back-to-back hits, one to tie the game, one to take the lead. Riley Daniels, gave up 6 runs in that first inning, but, dug down deep and went 4 more scoreless innings.
Scoreless inning, yeah, absolutely. That was a gutsy performance.
I can tell you right now, those 2 are in good light with the coaching staff.
Oh, yeah. They may have just earned a spot on the starting rotation. And
yeah. An 0-1 count to the Arborview batter. 1 on, no outs here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. The Dons with a 2-run lead.
He goes for it.
He goes for it.
It's a big pitch.
It's an 0-2 count now. Arborview, who showed us earlier that they were willing to do the suicide squeeze. I wouldn't be shocked if they stick to their guns here and try to advance the runner.
Yeah, I could see him trying to put it down too.
It's interesting. I've seen a lot of bunting going on in this Red Rock Classic. And I don't know, the catchers have just gotten a lot better, but there's not a whole lot of straight still going on. It seems to be an executional running situation almost every time.
Yep.
Hit and runs, bunts, things of that nature.
Yeah, the only way if you had you out there on the base pass, Sam, or someone like Wade Vest, maybe.
Yeah, it's
you haven't seen a lot of people trying to still.
Straight still.
It's true.
No, there's always been some kind of an executional hit and run or a bunt or something going on. A 1-2 count. He swings on. Now we got a runner. What?
Yeah. He's out.
He's out. Okay.
Guy
so
on first, yeah.
Batter swings at the pitch. First base was occupied. The runner did advance to second base, but the batter is automatically out on the strikeout. No need to throw down.
But he advanced that runner.
They did kind of did do their job.
That doesn't happen very often, but when you strike out and still do what you're initially trying to accomplish is.
Jarvis actually did a really good job of keeping the ball in
play. Yep.
And Jarvis did his job striking the runner out, so it's one of those tough situations. But Arborview definitely in a position to get a runner in scoring position and tie this baby back up. 1 out, 1 runner on. Nick Jarvis on the mound for the Dons. Sets to deliver. Throws a curveball. It's low and inside. Ball 2. 2-0 count right here. A walk's not the worst thing in the world, though, here, Nate. Got an open bag.
Yep.
Put you into a double play situation with 1 out.
Yep.
I wouldn't give away too much if I was Nick.
Nope.
Ball is low.
Especially with Jose Uribe up.
Yeah. 3-0 count. Arborview's best player coming to the plate in Quintana. He's on deck, I believe, anyway. No? I think I'm wrong. Rodriguez draws the walk, brings to the plate the left fielder and the leadoff hitter, number 18, Pastroni, and he has been a very tough out. But the good news for the Dons is that they are now in double play situation once again.
Yep.
Runners on first and second with 1 out.
He'll have to hit it hard. This guy's pretty quick.
Yeah, he will have to hit it hard. And we will have to react quick. Robert steps off. Wants to think about things for a second. Arborview in a good situation with their top of the order right here. Throws a curveball for a really good looking pitch that is called a ball inside.
Man, a lot of these look good.
Look pretty good to me from here, but we're not down there in the thick of things, so we'll give the umpire the benefit of the doubt, even though it is kind of fun to argue with and yell at the umpires. The fans sure seem to be having fun doing it on both sides.
There's been a fair amount of it going on today.
It's funny, Nate. I I asked you and 3 or 4 other former players to come and help us out on the color commentation today, and so far I haven't seen the other 3 guys anywhere in sight. They must be afraid of live television.
They must be. I'm going to have to remind them when I see them.
Not been so bad, has it?
No, we've had a great time today. It's been fun watching the ball game and spending time with you, Sam.
Talking about baseball?
Oh, absolutely. We would be doing this
anyway.
Not live,
yeah.
but
I guess one good thing about it, we've got out of watching the kids, and
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Our wives probably aren't too happy with us, but all right. So we got one ball. He laces one into left field. Money comes up throwing hard. Looks like we're gonna cut the. Oh no! Ball skips out of Golish's reach, and they advance the runner on the throwing. I don't know if I'd want to call it a throwing error. Probably an error on Golish. Skipped off and bounced over toward their dugout, and they scored the tying run. It's 11-11. They got runners on second and third with 1 out, and the meat of their lineup up.
Yep, now they're drawing the infield in to cut that runner.
Pastroni has been a very effective leadoff hitter for that.
No, he has. He's hit the ball hard every time.
And for those of you that have enjoyed the game so far today, we have another one coming up shortly after this one. I believe right here at Hearst Field. Don't know exactly, but we know that we're going to be live with you guys once again for the Don's second game in this doubleheader day here at the Red Rock Classic. So take a break, grab something to eat, keep it on Channel 17, and we'll be right back at the end of this game. But in the meantime, we got a great one in front of us, a tie ball game. Bottom of the 7th inning, 1 out, runners on second and third.
Jarvis is working hard behind the plate.
Yeah, Jarvis
doing a good job keeping those balls in front of him with the guy on third.
You know, Nate, I think that you can see it over on their side too. You get into this situation, you don't have a whole lot of pitching to go to. These teams come down here and play JV games, and you burn a lot of pitching in 21 innings there. And now this is our 21st inning for the varsity level. 42 innings, you got to find pitching, and sometimes that's tough to do.
Oh, absolutely. In the same week.
Yeah, no activity down in the
days.
bullpen. For the Dons, they're sticking with Roberts, and the guy rips one up the middle for the game-winning hit, and it looks like Arborview is going to walk away with the win. The Dons move to 1-4 on the season and 0-3 here in the Red Rock Classic. But they played a pretty tough game.
They played a tough game today. Put some runs on the board. It's got to, give them some confidence. Not only that, Sam, but they're playing some great competition. I mean, these teams that they're playing are tough, and they take their baseball serious just like we do. And
yeah, and it was a hard fought baseball game, and it looks like they're not going to switch dugouts or shake hands yet, because these two teams are going to battle it out one more time. That's what it looks like to me. I'm not exactly sure, but Gov's going to talk to the guys down the right field line. I just want to thank Nate Dart, graduate of 1999, for joining me here on the telecast. Coming up soon, we'll have another game, and we'll have another color commentator to cover the next game. But we appreciate Nate for coming on the show today, and we thank MVP Sports and the Car Guys for sponsoring this game. And make sure you stay tuned, because in about 30 minutes we'll be right back at it. Thanks a lot, Nate.
Thanks, Sam.